attention to how much experience I'm getting or if anyone's gaining levels. So let's see how far we are and how much experience did I gain from this one fight. 202. So at that rate, I have to battle about 10 times before I gain a level. But this one still needs 1800. Wow. I'm not that much closer, am I? Okay, let's do a few more fights and then we'll have to call it quits for tonight. I really thought I beat the ancient library. I really did. .67 experience. Yeah, so most enemies are not as much as 200. That's why it's taking so long. Most are only going to give me like 50 or so. And what was I talking about? I was talking about Linux, and I guess I meant talking about that. But I remember when I was a little kid and I first learned about Linux, I was in about middle school. I must have been like 12 years old, and I was really excited because it sounded just so cool. And I was very technically inclined, but I guess I didn't have much critical thinking skills, and so I didn't really think about why it was cool. I just kind of read a few articles about it and decided that I had to try it out, and so I set up a partition on my computer. I partitioned my computer so that I could boot up Windows like I normally did and use Linux. I still needed Windows because I had a lot of games, and I used to play a lot more games than I do now. But I guess I'm still a gamer at heart. And Linux was just so hard to use. Like I had a very difficult time with that old version of Linux. Newer versions are a bit easier and more user-friendly, but with that earlier version, it was very difficult for me to even get Windows to get the graphical user interface working. I was basically working with a command line prompt for 90% of the time. Well, 100% of the time until I got the Windows system working. And apparently, like if you have an old monitor and you set the frequency, configure the monitor incorrectly in Linux, and it's an old monitor, you can damage the monitor. If the monitor is designed for like 70 Hertz and you set it to 120, you can actually damage the monitor. And so I read that, and I was like really scared because I was afraid my monitor might get broken if I screwed up. Even though it probably was not old enough to be that crappy, but that still scared me and it like slowed me down in learning how to set it up. But I remember just being very, very disappointed with Linux at that time. I didn't even know what to expect of it. And even though I didn't know what to expect of it, I was still disappointed. But now I'm learning it not really to make something useful, just basically for the sake of, tinkering around and learning and gaining just knowledge about how the system works. Anyway, it's been about an hour since I started playing, so let's call it quits. And thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching so far. And I'll go read a walkthrough and make sure that I know what I have to do next. And then I'll come back and I'll continue gaining levels and probably go into the library because that's probably where I do have to go next. And then we'll go from there. Thank you very much for watching so far, and I'll see you next time.